It's all right. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Nerd Dungeon. It's your boy, Dre, the Geek Dad, and I'm here with my two besties, the co-hosts of the show, King Bob, Smitty Rock, who I'm going to call the unofficial Duke of the Creatives. He is, and my little baby girl, Geek Baby, says hello. And we are here with the one, the only, Serg of SergandDestroy. How you doing tonight, my brother?
Hey guys, how's it going? Hey everyone. Hey, like that card. That's awesome.
Already got a drop like that.
Yeah.
So, Serge, I guess the question is, what got you into this, my dude? Let's just start out with a little softball question. What got you into this?
Man, I've been doing art all my life. Like, I've been drawing, and my dad used to draw, so it was like just second nature for me. But like when he came back from Vietnam, he became a cop here like full time. So he just stopped drawing once he came back. So it was like at that point I was already, ready to draw. So I just kept it going. So I was always that guy that like never did all the maze puzzles that like, go out to eat. I always turned the paper around and just used the actual white side to draw on. So I was just always creating. So, that's just kind of the mindset I had. I would draw toys, that I had. So I'd play with them, but I also stand them up and draw them, at the same time. So always been into just creating my own stuff as opposed to like rendering other people's, IPs and stuff like that. So
no, I love your back art wall that you got there of the Mega Man.
Oh yeah, I got the whole set, and I got the whole case of Vinylmation villains, and
Nice.
got another one of the first 12 GGs as I was making the started resin. Kind of they get better as they go, so it's a little like journey as I started into it. So
I may have a couple of those.
yeah.
So how long? You say this journey started when you were young, but like what?
Yeah,
when you say like how young? Like I'm curious.
Like young. Like I was always drawing. Like I want to say maybe I don't know 4 or 5. I was always drawing. That was just my thing. And then it was about like 10 years old when I really started like doing my own stuff out in like local like art shows, getting out in like local newspapers, things like that. Just kind of always, trying to push the envelope. And then through like school events and my church, always having a lot of outdoor events and things that, they tried to do with the neighborhood. And I got into murals, and then that got me into graffiti. And then from there, I started translating my characters into the graffiti, and then from there, into like toys and everything, so everything just kind of was a step up. As soon as something else came, then something else, I'd experiment with something else. And then like I got into airbrushing, and then got into translating the graffiti into toys was really the main step once the Monies and Dunnies came out like 2006. So it was like maybe Dunny Series 2 or 3. So it was just at the beginning of Kid Robot stuff. Got our hands on the blanks, and then I just started customizing even over production figures. Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I don't have one.
Yeah.
So I have my hand up anyway.
I got another set of them coming. I found like 8 Dunnies the other day where I was like, oh, these are cannon fodder. I'm painting over all these.
So see, there's always a way to get our hands on some of his artwork. Don't
I mean, like the stuff you guys see is like what I show. I'm an assembly line, so like the way I do things, like everyone wants to see my process, but like at times it's boring because it's literally watching paint dry. So like, I have kind of in my studio here areas set up. So like if I cast resin, it takes a certain amount of time. So then I'll go over to the spray paint hoods, spray paint, that's going to dry. And I have my drawing table. So I'm kind of moving all around. And so in like 1 week I could produce 10 figures, and that's like when I drop things, I like to drop, a smattering of things as opposed to like one at a time, because there's usually something, hopefully somebody would want. And then I started funneling in at the beginning of the pandemic. I learned how to do resin. So I was like, really just like, well, I'm going to start pushing my own characters at this point. Since, I have a lot more time at home. So
I would say, yeah, this pandemic has definitely been a growth market, so to speak. Sadly, sadly in a positive way,
right.
that like a lot of artists have been able to say, hey, I could parlay this into something that can be financially, fruitful but it's also putting yourself out there and your art out there. Which again, like we always say, you guys are artists. This is your job.
Well, I was working full 40 to 60, like as a web designer. Like I've been working 40 hours a week since I was 16. So and outside of that, I was doing art. People thought I was just a full-time artist. So it's like, well, yeah, as soon as I get out of an 8 and 9 day hour, then I'm up till like 2 a.m. doing art, so I like never stopped it. The hustle was never, stopped by 40-hour weeks. My weekends would be up for art shows with my best friend, Rick Sands. We would, travel in and out of state, do local stuff. So that's awesome. that's just how it was. And then like at the beginning of the pandemic, I lost my job due to it. So I had another extra 8-9 hours a day where I'd be sitting behind a computer, and I'm like, well, I'm just full-time art until something falls through. And I've been able to get projects that were on hold for years, just up and done in like a month, and
wow.
With technology and being able to do 3D printing, and having access to like Nomad for 3D, design, it's really pushed me really fast, kind of fast tracked.
I was just putting Nomad into the chat first.
Yeah. So I have ZBrush, but like Sir One's trying to teach me ZBrush, so I have like both aspects of it, So hopefully I can be self-sufficient, probably within the next year.
All right, I have to ask because I know you and Rick were at Fan Expo in Cleveland. Yep. Mm-hmm. Did you guys have a good weekend?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was great to be back, inside of a con inside town where we're not paying flight, for flights and everything. All we have to do is drive like 10 minutes downtown and set up. But like the crowd was amazing. They used to be Wizard World, so Fan Expo bought them, so it's a whole different setup. I think it was way better run. Everyone just seemed to be happy. We pay on the vinyl records, like we've been doing that for 15 years. That's what we do really at like all the art conventions and kind of craft fairs during the year. It's just our way of recycling. We just hit over 60,000 of them saved from the landfill over 15 years now. So,
wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's, you still, you get to see the back of what the nostalgia of the record is, but we get them scratched. Somebody gives us really good ones. We try to find a collector. And it makes a real cheap canvas. We only sell them for $10, but we're moving, 500 in a weekend type deal,
Nice.
And,
dude, I've seen those. They look amazing.
We can get some out to you guys. We just gotta.
Thank you.
Well, we can I'll just kind of run through something. We have something for Free Comic Book Day next weekend. After that, I'll be available. I can show you. I can just kind of do some live videos or something. If you guys want to pick some stuff, we'll get them out to you.
Yeah, sure. That'd be awesome, dude. Like I watched you guys. Like I was looking at. I try to do something like investigative reporting whenever we get somebody on, because Smitty is literally like, we call him the Duke. I'm gonna call him the Duke of which of the creatives, because my man tells us everything. He knows so much about you guys.
He's a Pokédex for artists.
No, literally, he could go like, "Oh, Surge, the artist Pokemon."
Dre,
let's see. How much do I have?
The Museum of Modern Art for the creators.
He really is, and nice. I felt like I can't always go to Smitty, even though I don't. He knows he's like my brother. I could go to him for anything. Mm-hmm. I was like, let me just go through to see your artwork, and I vibe with it a lot.
Thank you.
I love it. It's something that is near and dear to me. It's a style that I vibe with. So that was one thing that I like to see. It's like looking at your Instagram and then like, seeing the records. And I was like, because I remember my mom used to get like all the records, and we used to play records in the house before CDs and cassettes and all that stuff. That's how old I am.
Yeah. So. Well, no, I mean, we used to crate dig, DJ, all that stuff too. And like, people get mad. Randomly, you get people that will like yell at us. Can't believe you're ruining this stuff. And it's like, you drive in a car that you're listening to like your iPad. You can't be that mad. And like, we've had people, like one random lady told us, like, you just came up to us. We're like, oh yeah, how you doing? She's like, you ruined my childhood, and then walked away. And we're like, what the hell was that? And we just laugh. We're just like, well, that's the one for the weekend, hopefully. And then, everything else. But, it's, again, we're both graffiti based. Like we took our graffiti to t-shirts. That's how Rick and I met. We met through our mutual friend, who's my best friend and our tattoo artist. He's been in my church. I've known him since I was like 9 or 10. We grew up in the church together, doing murals and art installations around town. and then I met him, Rick, through both of them working at like I don't know, plumbing supply factory. I worked there for like 3 months, and then Rick just randomly was like, "Oh, you do art?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You want to do a T-shirt line?" And I was like, "Sure," and that was it. Like we just started hanging out, and that was it. Like it's been what 18, maybe almost 18 years. I think I've known him. So we just kind of jumped right into it and just started like doing T-shirts, did fashion shows, traveled with it, and then after that, we're like, well, this isn't lucrative. It's fun, but like we need to do something else. And then Rick randomly shows up like, yo, there's this thing called a money, and it looks like a toy, and you can paint on it. And I was like, let's go buy them. And that, that was it. That was game over. We were like just buying out because we had a local vendor, and we would just drive to it and just load up every time they'd come into stock. Just load up on them, and then we'd have like local shows. So like. We even did like half and half mega monies, things like that.
Oh, wow.
So actually at 5 points, we're going to be bringing our second half and half. That has been 12 years since we did the last one. So it's going to be cool to see like a side by side of what the first one was to like our styles now. So of course it's probably going to be full glow in the dark black light, like how we do. So
wait, Rick doing glow?
Yeah, I know. Surprise, right?
If you haven't seen some of Rick's stuff, I mean, his black light and glow stuff is crazy because the amount of colors he puts into
he's got dubbed. He was dubbed the tie-dye king now, and I told him you need to stick with that because it's really intricate, but it looks awesome on figures.
Yeah.
I've never seen tie-dye on a figure. I mean, I shouldn't say I haven't. I have. I just never looked at it from an art perspective.
Right.
To see it like that.
Yeah. But then, well, I mean, and you were talking about your GG progression.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can show off a couple of them. Like, oh wait, I have one of your treasure chests.
Nice. Awesome.
Oh wow.
Which,
awesome.
If you haven't seen one of his treasure chests, it traditionally was one of the GGs.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the Berserker. So he has the backpack with the skull on it, and then he had the paint mask over his face.
Yep. And then you would get a bottle of little
like treasure pieces. So it's like a sunken treasure because he's like a pirate. So inside it's all my resin pieces. So there's a lot of different pieces as I made things, and then it's kind of like a sunken treasure.
That's cool.
Now you take one of these and you put it in black light or UV, and the crazy glows you get off of this, it's wild. And then
Nice.
And then you would get like a little mini.
Yep. The little 1-inch guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Home button.
But yeah, so I have gotten one of his treasure chests. I would highly recommend them. They're very cool.
Yeah, I need to find more of those chests. They were a hit. So I may have to just start 3D printing or something my own. Or I'm thinking about making one that I cast out of resin. So it's like
There's a pirate here who has treasure chests.
Awesome. I love Jack.
We have an Aloha Con.
Oh yeah, that's the magma.
Yep.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, so that one is the way I cast it. It's like 7 layers, so it works from the outside, and then it looks like it's like a lava break through magma.
Hey,
So
I see.
black to red to yellow to a light yellow to like orangish, and it kind of fills in. So if you put it to the side, it glows in all the layers.
That's amazing, dude. Like, I love the way that looks. I'm sorry if you guys see me turn a lot. It's my
no
baby.
problem.
She's eating. She wants to eat my food, so I'm
Good.
feeding her. So I apologize.
No problem at all.
Even though she had dinner already.
Oh, that's the Skelefet.
Yep.
That looks dope.
So that one is the half and half that Fed Up Toys sculpted. So he sculpted his actual logo, the Boba Fett's and Skeletor head on top of the GG, and then started casting them.
That is cool.
And
That is very cool.
one of my fiend buddies is super jealous of this one.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Dude.
Yep. Yeah, those.
Yeah, that's sick.
I plan on doing more, but I may do them on the new 3 inches to kind of open up the shape a little bit because I have feet and shoes on them now. So that may be the only ones ever done as a series. Then that's the Infinite Skeletor GG. So he has the Infinity Gauntlet on his arm.
I noticed that. I was about to say, man, he's ready to go take over Eternia.
Oh, you got the Gonga one. That's awesome.
Yes, I got the Gonga one.
So that's the Gonga custom. That's the first one. Him and I are actually going to be doing some more on the platform together as a collab, half and half paint jobs.
Nice.
And then Lost and I have something coming up too. So I don't know if anyone saw. Did you see his Lost? He has a blank, right? He's sculpted on the nose and the headphones of his actual Lost character.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
We're gonna have a second one mastered and made, and then I'm gonna cast them, and then we're both gonna paint those as like a half and half drop too. So
nice.
Kind of just working out those logistics. So it's been fun watching people customize them. That's why I started doing the DIY packs recently, and everyone's having a blast with them. Like Donner's been killing them. She just customized the Shisa the other day as a commission. So it's real cool watching people customize on the platforms as I've been putting them out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
do you got more? You got more to show us?
Well, I mean, he just mentioned some of the DIY stuff. I mean, we happen to have an AP.
That looks. I love that. Like that's what vibes with me right there. Is that it looks very akin to comic books that I read now. So it like I said, I love the art style.
So everyone has seen my cartooning style, which I adapted because of cons. Because if there's a line of people wanting stuff, I switch to a cartoon style so that I can get the line and get as many pieces of art in a certain time limit. But like the actual card is like my actual style, the way I started drawing, which was off of action figures, which is actually laid out more in the lenticular card. That's more like my anime style, so it's kind of like the in between. Because I'm heavily influenced by anime. Like once Rick and I took a trip to Japan in 2010, and when I came back, like that's where I completely honed in where I wanted to go with my style, the kind of street cyberpunk, with like a graffiti flair.
2010. So what anime was that influenced you back then? If we could go back 12 years.
Oh, I mean, well, I've been watching anime since I was about, I don't know, 7, 8. So
nice.
Astro Boy was my first thing that influenced me. My mom showed me that, and I just got hooked on it. To the point where like I have an Astro Boy on my shoulder. Like it's just
respect.
Like that was like one of the things. I was like, I will always have an Astro Boy on me somewhere if I ever start getting tattoos. And I just went down the wormhole. My older brother would stay up late with me and go, "Yo, I got these movies," and I'm like, "All right." And he introduced me to Akira, Fist of the North Star. I was watching Vampire Hunter D, like Ninja Scroll. All those when I was like 8 or 9. I was like, probably shouldn't be watching these, but I was hooked.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't have been watching them because I was. Well, I'm 43, 44 this year. I remember going to a Comic-Con in New York City. And for the first time seeing, I'm originally from New York, so I remember going to like down to Penn Street and like seeing all these crazy, like they had like the Weathering Continent, and I was like, what the hell is this? And it's Ninja Scroll, but it was like I'm like, wow, this dude's cutting people up and kicking that ass. And
it was it was a thing to just hunt down. Like we would always go to the corner like movie. Like a video shop back then, when my dad would always leave us money on the weekends, like, hey, go rent movies, do whatever, So it's either we're renting Rad or something like that to watch, and then it just turned into me renting all these anime. Like, well, this is the only way I can get them is on a VHS randomly, until we can start, downloading and bootlegging them. But that was the big thing, Like I drew like Ninja Turtles was my thing when I was a kid. That's all I would draw. I have like the whole collection still of all the toys.
Love the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, the way I learned how to draw outside of just drawing my own stuff is I would set up the toys and I have different lamps on, and I would turn off certain lamps to see where the cast shadows were, and then I would draw that, and then I would click off 2 other ones and then draw that. So I had like pages and pages of just the same pose, but with all the different shading. And then like eventually you kind of just get that in your head where you want the shadow to come and things like that, light source and such. So like as I was playing, I was also like teaching myself, off of that because I didn't have a lot of comic books when I was a kid. I didn't get into that until I was like 16 or so. It was more so just I had the toys to play with, and I would just use those as my like frame of reference.
Yeah, I think that's most everybody kind of grew that way. Like I remember I wasn't in the comic books till I want to say maybe a freshman in high school.
Thanks, Jesse.
Come here. You want to say hi, everybody? This is the geek baby. She's gonna be 2 years old. Oh my god! Can you believe she's gonna be 2? Oh, say hi.
Hi.
I love you. You're gonna be making faces. I love how you're gonna take over. This is the you show. Is this the Rory show? No, it's not. Oh, sorry. She does this. This is. I love her to death.
Oh, she's super cute. It's all good.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. You want to go watch Blue's Clues?
So, I mean, you mentioned you were collabing with Lost and a couple other guys.
Yeah. So right now I'm working on toy wise. Yeah, we're gonna be Gonga's gonna be working on something with me, Lost, and those are just on some GG collabs as I've been kind of getting that first style out as like a base for people to customize. Like the level 99s, the new ones with the feet and the actual cloak. That style I haven't let anyone get on other than like the head swap thing that I was doing with like the actual mold. But those I'll be casting and we'll be releasing those at some point. But I just want to see other people's takes. But yeah, I just and then figure wise, I have a collab with Bunny Mischief that will be at 5 points.
Nice.
When we did the live last week, we were showing off her side of it. So I sent her 10 GGs. And she sculpted her Onigiri boy rice pattern by hand on all the horns, right? So,
Nice.
And then she's doing her helmet as Sashimi, and then she's putting the outfit on as Kaneda from Akira. And then,
nice.
Yeah, so I'm doing 5 of, so she's doing 5 of those, and then I'm doing 5 of Tetsuo. So I have them in the red cloak with this tattered outfit. So we're figuring out we're probably going to sell them as sets to be fair, just so you can people get their hands on both. But she had this idea. She goes, "Hey, I want to do a collab, and I want to do something like the last Onigiri boy." And the whole thing is that little Onigiri's been beat up, and then a Gigi has to come in and save him. So she sent me these little 1-inch Onigiris.
Oh man.
So and then I made these backpacks. So this is like a kind of little pink glow ectoplasm, and the little guy sits inside. And then it clicks into the back of the GG. So he'll be able to stand with it. The little guy saved in the back. So that's the whole thing. He steps in.
That's dope.
So that's just something fun. Like one night we just a couple back and forth texts, and I was like, let's do it. I got the idea. I got the vials and stuff like that. And it just instantly made out. So that'll be at her booth at 5 points. We're collabing on some 2-inch Onigiri boy heads that we're kind of working on, so that eventually you'll be able to just get the heads as like a little standing fun piece to collect. And I'm probably gonna have some GG horns coming out of one of them as a little like side piece.
That would be cool.
Evil Ghosty and I are working on some stuff behind the scenes, so there's probably gonna be 3 GG Ghosty crossovers.
Nice.
So I have those files, so that's going to be coming hopefully. If it's not going to be 5 points by now, but that'll probably be a decon drop. I'd want to say I probably would want to save it for that just to have some fun, and let Ghosty get his hands on some, so he has time to do what he wants to do, paint them or do drill into them or cast them in glow or whatever. And then Sir One, did you guys see? Were you on the live when I showed that off?
I was.
Okay,
I was not.
I'll pull it up. So
he's got
yeah. So we were talking about it earlier. So Sir One and I have been chatting back and forth, and shout out to Sir One. He decided to take on this project for me, and this is kind of like my Grail piece. And I thought it'd be like years down the road where I'd be able to get this out the way. And he said, "Nah, man, I got the time. I'll take it on right now." So if this iPad will take a sec to load. So this is going to be dropping at DCon, and here it is. Where's it at? And I'm super excited because as like a toy collector, and then just as usually as every kid boy wants, either see yourself as a superhero or some sort of action figure. So
Hell yes. Oh my God.
if you like my card, there he is. So that's Protector 28 based off of that Creatives card.
Yo.
So he's going to have the arms will be you can move the arms up and down. You can swap the swords from each hand. The chain at the end is removed because I'm casting all these out of resin, so I'm like, I'm not going to deal with that. But on the backpack, he has now 2 holsters where the swords hang in. The backpack, thing to move the head, kind of, turn the head left and right. So it'll be a 7-piece figure I'll be putting together in a 7-inch size. I'm going to be doing a 3.75 single piece, like an actual action figure size. And then I'm going to probably do like the 2-inch Keshis at some point, like little muscle men.
Bro, that looks. I love that samurai armor. The way you actually. My degree in history is in Asian history, so.
Oh, awesome!
I love the samurai. I love that whole concept, and I love the way you actually did the Ashigaru style armor, where you have bamboo kind of coming.
Yeah,
through
he's like super.
He's
super. Yeah, he's super cyberpunk. But the whole thing is, he's a kaiju hunter. So like. He's that's why he's kind of armored up. So those like plating is actual like kaiju plating that he made it out of, things like that. So in a GG, so it's still my character, but I kind of like, well, I have all these different versions of him. You have him as like a little chibi character. You have him as more of a kid. This is like kind of like your comic anime world kind of version of him. So it kind of leaves me space to kind of create off of each version when I want to, kind of just, hey, well, here's the drop, but it's this kind of version. Here's some more story. So I've been world building the past like 2 years. And that's why I said I didn't think I was even going to get to this. But when he's like, I'll do it right now. And I was like, let's go and do this right now then. And he teased his portion of it. So as part of it, I told him, well, on the sculpt, I want you to do one that will drop at DCon 2 at your booth. So he teased the head the other day of his. So it's the same base body, but he did a different sleeve armor, a different weapon, a different backpack, and he has a different head. But that guy is cool. It's SR.1, so it's Sir 1. So it's mine's Protector 28, and then his is Sir 1. So you'll be able to, that day at DCon, get your hand, if you want both, between our 2 booths, you'll be able to get the set of the 2.
The kaiju hunters, man, you gotta have them. Yeah. You gotta have the pair. That sounds like, in my head, I have like this picture of what they look like. So I have to ask you, as somebody who plays Dungeons and Dragons, video games, reads comic books, I have to ask the world building aspect for you. Since you've only been working on it now for 2 years, and yes, I'm assuming that anime comic books have kind of helped influence, but they don't flesh out. Like you fleshed out your own original.
Oh yeah. No, like it's stuff I've had plans. Like when I have a note or something in my head, I have like stacks of moleskins and things like that. Sometimes I will do a quick sketch and there may be some notes next to it, and I may not see it for years. But now, like, my notes app on my phone probably yells at me because I have so many notes in there, and it's just something eventually, like, once I get to a character, then I try to do a little bit of background, and then it's helped me as I've been traveling. So that's where the main 4 are now. GG is a main person. It was like me, so it's like the US kind of guy, but it's a little kid, and I've never shown him yet. There's an actual kid version of him, like an actual human look of him. The skeleton version, so that's the box. So that's each of the 4 characters are on the box. So GG, that's the Chica, and she's player 2, and then you have Coquito, which was player 3, and then Bruja-chan will drop at 5 points, and that's my player 4. So I always have some video game cosplay aspect to them. But that's what it is. So growing up, GG came up, and his it's the graffiti guy Kotsu. So it's graffiti skeleton is who he is. And that's
Boricua, look at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got the like dual graffiti one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that thing glows like crazy. I think that's like peak to green glow.
Yep.
That was fun. Like that's the bigger coquito, and that's I can't wait because like this is the new size of them. I can't wait to drop all four.
Nice.
It's
That looks
much
awesome.
manageable, and I kind of like them because they're chibi. So seeing them at this 3-inch size, it actually speaks more to me seeing them in this size. But now I know how to knock them out easier after doing the giant 5-inch and figuring out all the pitfalls doing that way. Um, but yeah, so Chica was when we went to Japan. I came back and created her. So I created each of them after a trip. And then Coquito was taking my trips to Puerto Rico with my family and then to New York with my family. And I was like, okay, we got this little guy, but coquis are really small.
Of course.
And when you go to El Yunque, which is the rainforest in Puerto Rico, you can only drive up so far. And then there was always this like kind of weird block off road where it's like a power station or something up there. So while traveling around the island, me and my brothers were always like, "Oh, is that like a laboratory? Is that a missile silo?" So we always had these things since we were kids in our head of like what was up there. So like I made it like it was a testing facility, and Coquito's this little Coqui that got into there and came out like a humanoid. Came out kind of human. So that's how he came about. And then the witch is after we got back from Iceland, I created her. So like we got to do the glacier tours and the lava tube tours, things like that. So she's a little witch that kind of hangs out in those ice tubes. But then to keep her warm in the ice tubes, she had the magical floof raise her. So these are the big ram sheep that I make.
Oh wow.
So I kind of did it. So this is her as a kid. So they were bigger. And then when she grows up, you have the baby. So as she grows up, they get smaller. So we have the XLs and you got the little minis. And I am making a 2-inch size, a kind of an intermediate size. So these are both launching at 5 points as a set. So if you get a Bruja-chan, you get a 1-inch floof with them. So
you already answered a question, but in my head that I was going to ask, but I'll ask it anyway.
Oh yeah, Smitty, that's the first one I did. That's the first painted floof. That's the XL, and that's the one that I did for the creatives. And no, that's the Booze and Buddies version.
You can tell that because of the BB.
yeah. Those things are like paperweights. Those things are resin guzzlers.
Well, I guess, like I said, you answered the question, but I want to still ask it because I think it's very relevant. One of the things I always ask a lot of the artists that come on the show, does culture influence? And I can tell because being Puerto Rican, I can already hear in my head. I hear La Bruja. I start like El Coqui, and it warms my heart because I support the community in that sense of I want to see more of my people doing things like this. So when you said like something like Bruja-chan, where you could hear the Japanese influence, you could see the Puerto Rican influence, but when you have the other, like, did anything from Iceland and like Norse mythology kind of play into how you felt with building that kind of character?
Yeah, I watched Vikings like right after we came back, and I was always into studying like civilizations. I was like heavy into Egyptian civilization growing up. It was just something I was like heavy into, so I jumped into like Moon Knight is so good for me to watch because I get to see that side of things. So like when we went to Norway, well not Norway, but when we went to Iceland, you still see that kind of that whole area still has like that influence, and like going on the Game of Thrones tours, things like that. So when I came back, I watched Vikings. I didn't realize like the ritualistic things like that, and they have kind of like, I guess it's more their shamans or like their priests, but people would probably say they're witches or whatever. Though that's why I told Rick, I was like, yo, I want to make something that's witchy, but I still want to have the Japanese and the Spanish kind of tie-in. So each of the names, like Chica is Chica, but it's spelled with a K because that means underground, as in like an underground arcade. Or so like, and that's so like I try to tie in things so I can kind of always have a part of me in it with like the main thing I like. So like I like that, like I'm influenced by that style, and like I'm bringing it to everything. So like going to Japan was like kind of like a culture shock and we did 6-day backpacking. Like, it was nonstop for 6 days. So it was an overload. So when we came back, it was like just kind of taking the time to drill down on what we experienced, the going through the photos, and then kind of tying it into what we do. So that's kind of, as I went down, I created the characters first, and then I kind of flushed out the backstories. Some people create the basis of their story than how the character looks. I kind of always am visual before I do more analytical stuff. It's just kind of how I am.
But I think that's a good artist though, especially people in that particular art style that I like. That's almost how they are. They create the image, and then the story comes from the image.
Yeah, like
I like that.
Yeah, like you could just say like, oh, like I like the little challenges. I used to do them when I started Instagram. I just go, hey, throw out 3 things, like person, place, or thing. And I put that in my story, and then somebody would throw it out, and then like within a couple of days, I just post that drawing in my story. Like, and I like that keeps me. It always kept me creating, because it could be like, I don't know, a bird surfing in the Amazon. It doesn't make any sense. But like I would draw that, and then like the next day I would go, hey, give me another suggestion, which I want to start that back up because I think it's fun. But like that's how I'm always visual, because you just do some keywords and I'm going to create something. And this is kind of how my mind works. I don't sleep a lot. Like I have to kind of turn my brain off. Like I got to kind of stop doing stuff at like a certain time of night, or I'll just keep going. It's just kind of how I always am.
I think the artistic people, that's very much akin to how they work, is that their brain never stops.
Yeah.
You always are thinking of how to evolve, because you're always going to be doing that. Yeah. Your art is an evolution. And I can tell, just like the hearing and how you think, and then you just describing how your characters are created. Mm-hmm. It's like, I can't wait to see how, and each of them is evolving in and of their own story.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's why I made the boxes. Like that was the first thing. I was like, how can I package these boxes? And Android 99 search. Facts. They say I just need to plug in while I'm doing work. So the box is why I kind of kept them as shadows on the box, because when I do make something, eventually you'll be able to see the story of each character. But right now it was just an introduction. So it's a guess who's coming next. But each of my characters, the new style, which is, hold on, sorry. The old style, this was just a base Gigi, right? But it was just a chibi form, something simple that I could do. And let me get some better lighting, probably. That's probably better. So yeah, he's just little flat base, super simple is how I created him. Now the new styles, they all have this cloak on, right? So the cloak was also for a base of me creating what I want to paint them. I can make them any character, because all 4 of my characters are actually cosplayers. So I could have my character, but if somebody wants, their favorite character or such, I can do that for them. But it allows me to just, be who they want to be. That's the whole thing of growing up. I was like bullied for certain things, and I was a sports guy, but I was still bullied for being a nerd, which is like super weird. But, I was always myself, so it was like, hey, I'm always myself. So that's the whole thing, is like, just be yourself, and you want to be something else, I can make them into something else. So that's like the main thing with the 4 characters. So they're just cosplayers, and, they don't fully see their face. Like the only one you fully see their face is, the Chica now. But she's the mischievous one. That's why she has the jagged teeth. So like she hangs out at night. Her whole job is she hangs out at night, and like when you're playing with the claw machines and that damn arm just doesn't want to grip. Yeah, yep. She's at night tinkering her with those. So she makes you pump your money into the machines. So she hangs out. I
knew it.
When she's the one on the street when you're trying to put that money into that vending machine and the thing stops. So she's
I knew.
One. Yeah. So she hangs out. That's what she does. She's a horror fanatic, so that's why I'll really only customize her for the most part as scary characters. Like I did a Jubilee for the upcoming show, because it was just really fitting to how her shape was for the Dr. Saw show. But that's probably the only one-off I'll make her cutesy. Outside of that, I kind of got to make her creepy because that's just kind of what her style is.
I was about to say that. I mean, you brought up that they're all cosplayers.
Mhm.
So, guys, you need to check out his Instagram because he's got a turtle and the Jubilee costumes
Yeah.
for the upcoming show, and they are crazy good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I saw that turtle, but yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a pipe dream to buy. But
I'm planning on doing more. Like with the 3-inch size, it allows me to do more. It's just
Yeah.
like those big ones. Like it was good to learn how to do resin with them because they're bigger pieces. I always have turtles. Like people have seen. Like I always have turtles like everywhere in my place. So
and,
Oh my God, I love
and
it.
actually, behind me in my hallway is a 4-foot Leonardo.
oh geez, that's awesome.
Folks, if you haven't seen it, that's the Jubilee. It looks
Yeah.
awesome.
Jubilee's underrated, man. I love that character. That was my favorite character from the 90s cartoons. Like, I don't know why, man. Just I vibed with her.
Yeah, I
And,
know.
It's Michelangelo.
Yeah, and those
Yes,
turtles,
I
I will
know.
be doing a hand-painted set in the 3-inch to make them more affordable, too. That's the whole thing. I dropped down in size to make them more accessible to people, too. You know, like, I'm appreciative of everyone that picks up my pieces because art is still a luxury, even though, you know, people say it's toys. They're pieces of art, you know, and not everyone can afford an $80 piece at a time. And that's why when I'm able to sell one, I'm like super appreciative. But if I can make something that's like $30, it's more approachable. And then for that $30, now people can get at least 2 of them or something like that. So now, you know, their collection grows. They can feel, you know, like, oh, cool. Now I can get at least 2 of his characters, things like that. So, you know, that's also a mindset that I'd rather have more art in places. I'd rather have a little smiley character on somebody's desk at work. If they're having a bad day, they look up at this little character smiling, like, oh, sweet, you know, okay, shit ain't that bad, you know, or whatever, you know. So like, you know, that's like what I do. Like that's why with our records, it's like it's $10. Like somebody's charging a print down the way for $50, and it's like it's 10 cents on that piece of paper. Like I'm not trying to fleece. Like I want you to like my art, and I want you to be moved to have it in your place, and then maybe somebody else will come in and go, oh, hey, that piece of art's cool, you know, and then it's just spreading the love of art. And then, hey, maybe I should check that guy out. And then they can learn my story from there, you know, like, you know, it's just I want it to be kind of word of mouth and then let the visual, aspect of it speak for itself.
I think that's 100% probably the most respectable and honorable thing I've heard on the show next to what we had Alex say about being, about the community, like there to support. I think that hearing that is like, you don't hear artists say that a lot. Like I had several friends that were in the anime community many years ago. And they would go to like these cons and they would put a table out and they would fleece, and I would work a table and I had sales and I would just be like, no, I'd rather you have 10 buttons that I punched out for you that look cool versus you getting a $100 print because you want that print on a bag or something. And I used to always have people come back to the table saying, man, that's that dude that punched the buttons for me, man. He's so cool. And I, for me, all I did was take a button that you created and I punched it for you. But that was the story that made them happy and keep coming back. And if you can tell your story through your art, like you said, if you could be happy by just looking at something.
Yeah. I try to make fun pieces. Like my things are it's scary, cute, fun is how I think of my things. So like you have scary things because I kind of always they say I have a dark sense of humor. Cool. I like scary stuff. I like watching scary movies. But then I have the fun aspect. I'll watch bubblegum. I listen to K-pop. I'll watch I literally been watching Sailor Moon again. That's one of my favorite anime. And then and then just fun. Like all my stuff is fun. I try to create things like little characters. Like oh, you got Bruha-chan. What does she do? Oh, she makes energy drinks in an ice tube. And like that's kind of what, but people like probably make them laugh. Like, why is a witch making energy drinks? I don't know. So like those are just the things, and it keeps me on my toes to kind of like, oh well, that kid, like yesterday we gave out a record. The little girl was dressed as Robin, And the parents were like, "Oh, hey, honey, we spent all the money and we just gave her a record that had the Robin symbol on it, you know." And it was like they made their day, and they were like, "Dude, you know, whatever. Like, dude, it's fine. Like, if she's gonna hang that up on her wall, like, she wanted to cosplay as Robin. Look at that smile on her face. That's all Rick and I care about. Like, that's that's that connection. You know, like if the parents see us next year at a con, maybe they come back and then they spend money. It's fine. That's cool. But like, at least they'll probably approach us next year with like, oh, hey, she's cosplay as whatever. You know, and that's cool. Like we took pictures of people as their characters with our records. Like, just like, oh, hey, come take a picture. Oh, here's a record. And they're like, what? And they're like, well, no way. I'm like, yeah. They're like, nobody does this stuff. It's like, yeah, no, everyone's just here to make money. We're just like, we're here to enjoy this con. Like, you took all that time to put into your cosplay because you like that character. Like, I respect that, you know, and like, I'm gonna let you know that that's awesome. Like, just be you, be awesome, go have fun. And then like, you know, we hung out with really fun people in our booth, you know, like it was awesome. Like, it makes our day too. Like, you know, people were like, yo, we went back into Artist Alley and people are just sitting at their tables mopey, you know, and we're like, why? It's a con. Like, I'm here to
Dude,
enjoy
that was
myself,
Raleigh.
you know.
When I went to Raleigh SuperCon, and this was back in 2018, and that's where we met Bunny.
Oh, nice.
Bun. Yeah,
Bun.
we met him. Bun. That's where we met Bun.
Oh, yeah.
Bun was awesome. And my wife, myself, and my daughter all bought prints and stuff from him. Stuff that I still have up in the house.
Nice.
And actually, there you go.
It
You
does
can see
get
his
very
two.
mopey.
Yeah, it's like bam right there. Those are his two prints right there.
Oh, nice.
And I absolutely love his stuff, and just hearing his story, and he was so upbeat. Like, he wasn't like beaten down or upset. He was actually enjoying. But then we went to Artist Alley to like walk through, and there's just guys that were there just like so like they're just going through the motions, and you could tell. I'm like, man, I don't want to buy art from you. I want to buy art from the person that's like, yo, come check me out. Like, yo, let's have a conversation.
Yeah, like,
because that's what I want.
Yeah, like the engagement, that alone, like, I don't need, like, yeah, again, I want you to be moved to want one of my pieces, but like, I'll talk to you guys all day. Like, we keep people in the booth just because we're chatting. Like, yeah, it's all pop art stuff that we sell on the records, but like, it's what we like, and that's what we tell people. Like, we just make what we like. Like, you know, we have anime, we have action, we have, you know, Cleveland stuff or whatever, how we do it, but like, we connect with so much people. People are like, oh, you guys. You go to one booth and it may only have one kind of feel in it, you know, and you're like, okay, well, this was an anime booth, but if I'm not an anime, what do I do? Okay, well, I just go to somewhere else. And our booth is like, yo, these guys like anime, and they have a Amelie record, which like is out of left field, but like, we're like, hey, it's, you know, it's classic, you know, movie, like, or, you know, it's classic cinema. Like, that's the kind of stuff we like. Like, we like Universal monsters, and we like Freddy and Jason too, you know, type deal, you know, like. And that's just how we are. Like, Rick and I, like, it's real cool because like we're chameleons. We kind of just put us at any con, or, you know, like, we've done like farmers markets and we're out there selling art. Like, people are buying food and we're like posted up in an art booth and we're selling art because we're just like, hey, everyone, you know. And I keep telling them, like, my trick works, and it's just a trick. I have a Danger Bot shirt on, right? But it's Baltan, you know, the kaiju, right? So I see somebody walking by. Oh, hey, this guy's got a Godzilla shirt on. And I'm like, hey, your Godzilla shirt's dope, bro. That's awesome. And the guy usually will come over to us. Oh, dude, I like your kaiju shirt. And then next thing you know, they're in the booth. And then, like, same thing. Like, oh, hey, yo. And, like, Rick doesn't watch as much anime as I, but he knows at least the name. And he'll be like, oh, I haven't watched Naruto yet. But, like, hey, your Naruto thing's cool. And the guy will be like, oh, cool. And then if they get to the point where they're like, oh, well, what's your favorite character? He goes, oh, I just know it. I haven't been able to watch it yet, but it's on my list, you know. And they're like, oh, cool. And they just start talking of other stuff, you know. So it's just like personal engagement, and you make the connection, and that's it, you know. Like, you know, somebody may be having a bad day, and that's why they're at the con, because they, you know, and that, you know, you just saying hi to them, or hey, I hope you're enjoying the con, like, that could just change their day, change their outlook on the day, change their outlook on the weekend. And like, I don't need your money. I just like, hey, cool. I brighten that person's day, let them go, and yeah, maybe they enjoyed the con the rest of the weekend. Maybe they're there by themselves because nobody they know supports the kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to go to that con with you. I'm not into that stuff, so they're there alone. But I engage them, and now they're hopping from booth to booth, maybe talking to people, or they're dressed a certain way, and maybe now they put themselves in the cosplay contest just because they're feeling good about themselves. That's why Alex and I it's all positive. Like, once we met, that was game over. Not just on the Puerto Rican thing and the artist thing. It was just like a vibe. Like, let's just keep this shit positive. There's so much negative and beef between artists and all this bullshit. It's like, no, we're just gonna try and grow this. And like, I'm proud of what I do, but I like you oil paint. I like your oil paint because that's what you do. And this person 3D designs. They may not be able to draw by hand, but on a computer, they're a wizard. And like, for me, that's still creative, and that just keeps those juices flowing. And hey, let's collab. I don't make music, but you need a cover for your album or something. I can do that. And it's if you open yourself up to other people, your mind, your heart, things like that, sky's the limit. And, you just got to kind of change it, have that mindset, to just be yourself and accept other people.
I'm going to throw in a shameless plug, but if you guys check out our Click Talks from last week, JC mentioned a giveaway. So
nice.
If you don't have a Serg piece,
this
is one of the prizes that you could get in that giveaway.
Hell yeah, man!
Nice.
So that's a Shisa Nano. That's the I think that thing's like 6 colors. I think when I cast that one has the same effect as the Magma Gigi. I just flipped the mold around when I did it, so that's why they're not the same color on the same side.
That was awesome.
I happen to have 2 of them, so I decided to, we're giving this one away as part of that May giveaway.
Yo, that's amazing.
So I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's throw in one of the artists that we,
That's awesome. Makes me pumped.
I mean, I'm like floored. I think I love it. I love hearing what you said. It's Smitty, and Smitty's heard this. When Alex and I met, it was like I felt like I had it was a cousin. And I feel like you just so you're gonna laugh when I tell you this, Serg. You look just like my cousin who lives in Florida.
Nice.
You guys
I used to live in Florida too.
Bro, you look identical to my cousin.
That's awesome. I found my doppelganger finally.
Exactly. Like you guys still look identical.
That's awesome.
So I love it. And I feel the same way with you. I feel like this positive vibe. Like I'm just talking to you and I'm just like, man, this dude is cool as hell. I could totally rock.
Hey, you know what? Like, I enjoy life, like there's,
you got to.
Everyone has bad things that happen and some are worse than others. And like when I hit 30, I had a retinal detachment in my eye and I lost like 60% of the vision and I had to pivot, and like people saw a change in my art. And I had even people like at Decon, like, oh, hey man, looks like you're slipping. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? I'm slipping. They're like, yeah, man, your stuff's not clean. And I'm like, well, I don't need to kind of explain my life to you. I don't need to have a shirt that says like, yo, I kind of have a cast in my eye right now. So like, thanks, man. I hope you like my art. It was just like, yo, I stay positive. Like I went to digital because I needed a light behind things. I needed to fatten up my lines and, practice how to do things. Like I painted on monies and would repaint it over it to literally, like I trained my hand. And like now over doing that, people were like, yo, man, like I've had galleries approach like, yo, man, like I've seen your progression and your stuff's like super clean, but like I don't need to, I put as much of my life out there as need to be. Like a lot of people don't see me until they get to a con. They're like, yo, I finally see your face. Until now people know my face, but like for years it was just my tattoos. I would do live things. You just see my tattoos moving, painting things, and that was it. I keep myself off screen because like my art's what important, not me. Like at that, like for you to see that, like this is what I'm putting out there, like not my face. And then now people are like, yo, it's good to see you. It's cool. And I was like, well, I like being on there. I like talking to people. I'm not antisocial. I just like when I'm in a zone, I'm in a zone. Like it's what you're not seeing is that like I'm off screen and there's music blasting, or whatever, it's like I edit music over to montage and whatever, but like when you're in that zone, I mean, there could be a bomb go off outside, and unless it hits me, I'm like, okay, on to the next piece, so and that's just how it is. So yeah, I mean, it's what it is, and I don't know, like I try to put as much positivity out there so that hopefully at some point I get it back.
Oh, you're doing, dude. You're doing it. You're doing it because in just the hearing your story and like saying like, hey, I don't need to, I don't have to. You're right. You don't have to tell anybody your story.
Yeah.
The purpose is that your art will tell that story. But here's the thing: when we see your face, and like you're getting to know us, and like part of like I said with the show, when you see my daughter, it's like that's a big deal. Because I put myself out there. Like I remember Mento said, he says, he says, Dre, this is your art form with the guys. Like you guys are putting yourselves out there, your lives, and that's a big deal. And I share my family. Like my wife will usually cross through here. My daughter Lana will cross through here. Rory came on, and I share those experiences because that's my life, who I want to share it with, and people that know me personally, like the guys over there, they know. They could talk to her on a different. They could talk to me on a different level, but it doesn't negate me sharing that with someone like you or like Alex, or anybody else, because it's a fun thing. It's something that is a part of who we are,
right?
And it's something that we want to share because it's a positive thing. People need to sometimes see a baby picture and smile.
Oh yeah, of course,
Some like you said, someone needs to see Bruja-chan and think, why is that bitch messing with the UFO catcher machine? God damn it, I wanted to win that statue.
Bruja-chan doesn't mess with the.
Oh, sorry, it's Chica. That's Chica. My bad.
Right.
But I think of witches, man, because it's Puerto Rican stuff, man. You gotta watch that Brujeria Santeria. Woo.
Yeah, that's
the chicken feet and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's like I with her. I just I try to I try to go the opposite route where like once she starts getting revealed, it's you always have that like witchy things that people put like negative spin on it. Of course, you grow up is like yeah, you can't mess with that. You get the fear scared in you as a kid, like don't mess with this, don't mess with that, and it's like this. Her, she's like fun loving. She's got the like cutest little friends. And that's just how it is. So like, it's going to be a flip when I drop her, because then you're going to be like, oh, I want her as a plush. I like, that's like how I see her. I see these things as like,
oh, bro, I see a t-shirt.
I see little kids. I have t-shirts.
Serge, I see a t-shirt. And this is what I see. You want to hear what my brain goes? This is what my brain goes. I picture her in front of this little cauldron, right? When I said chicken feet, I can figure like I see her like making chicken soup with the feet of the chicken, and it's bubbling in the cauldron, and you see her with that evil smile, but with a chef hat on and the chef coat, cooking the soup. I picture that, and I'm like, I would wear that on a t-shirt.
I may have to. That may have to be a design that comes out. I love suggestions.
Collab. I'll collab.
That's a collab.
I'll collab with you.
Maybe that's a Nerd Dungeon t-shirt that I can make.
There
we go.
That all works.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that idea.
Well, check out the designs because all of Fett's Ganjira designs. Guess who did them?
No, not me.
No.
Yeah.
He's like him. No. Down.
But and those are some great designs.
Thank you. Yeah, Fett was sick of screen printing, and I was like, I have an idea. You just got to give me time. And
we will talk. Me and you could collab on some cool shit. Like I always am down to help come up with a random cool idea because I can't draw for shit. But if I got a friend that can.
Yeah, I have a t-shirt shop. I have just like an artist, like the threadless artist shops. That's what I set up for Fett. Like, so if I want a t-shirt, I may just do a shirt because I want it. I put it on there, I order it, and then nobody sees it. But then I have a one-off, and I'm like, that's what I wear at cons now. Like people are like, yo, where'd you get that shirt? I'm like, I made it. But like, I haven't had the point where people have wanted to wear my characters, but I think these are the ones that finally will probably hit. But I just needed to, I need to get that going. But like, that might be, some special things because I'd love to see people wearing them.
Dude, I picture
What?
Chica in the UFO catcher machine, like with the evil cackle, like with the anime bubble over her head, and like a guy like going like this, like he's about to get it, and it just falls back into the thing. And he's like, "Damn it!" You know, like Shimata this thing. You know, like
Yeah.
like so many great things that come to mind.
Yeah, the Gontier show is awesome. Facts. Thanks for picking up that piece, Oliver. Appreciate it. So that's Bruhachan. I forgot I had these on here. So that's
Nice.
So that's what the actual sculpt is. So when I get to painting them, like that's her OG color. But you can see she has the spray, kind of the spray can mask on her, and she's like I'm a Final Fantasy like freak, and like so I love the Black Mage when I was a kid from Final Fantasy 2. So like if you look, she kind of has that similar shape. So that was like a base that like in my mind I thought of a little Vivi, and then kind of went.
Serge, I kind of noticed.
Yeah.
In the background your IG picture you have there of Tifa.
Oh yeah,
I noticed that
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything, but I know
yeah.
I could tell you're a big fan. I was like,
Oh,
there
yeah,
it is,
yeah. I
the
mean,
girls.
I got stuff all over, like Mega Man and skate decks and the stuff behind what you can't actually see. I have like Pokemon and Team Rocket and Kingdom Hearts and a bunch of Deadpool and Spider-Man, like a whole section of Deadpool and Spider-Man there.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Huge Spider-Man fan.
I got comics on the walls. I got some cosplay stuff. So I even have like all the Akatsuki headbands in a shadow box from Naruto. I have Kakashi's mask up there. I have the actual Zabuza's full-size executioner blade over there.
Nice.
There you go.
Oh, tote bags. I like that. Look at that.
That is a setup in the shop. You can apply it to bags. Like the artist shops have them all set. They just set them at certain prices. But tote bags are one of the options on there for sure.
See, Liz, we got you covered. See?
But I mean, and I'm gonna say this about Serge, about his whole positivity and putting that vibe out. You guys all know Dave did the autism auction this past month, and when I reached out to Serge, I mean, instantaneously he was like, "Yes, I'll do a piece for you."
Oh yeah.
And then he reached out to Dave and coordinated, and got to, and believe me, that one, I was in the bidding for it, and
awesome.
But because friends of mine, I don't think they have a piece of yours. I bowed out to let them win, so they could get a piece of yours.
I appreciate that. That was one of my favorite pieces. Like I just modeled it off of
I really wanted that one. That was my shit. Yessie was saying, I was jealous because Yessie has two chicas, and I was like, I really wanted the chica.
Yeah, Yessie wanted, like, she was like, I want a chica. They sold out at Decon. Can you make me one? And I was like, yeah. I mean, people can contact me. I'll just make them. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't really do closed runs. It's just like, well, I make 5, and if they sell out, that's it. But like, if somebody's like, oh damn, I missed out on that drop. Okay, well, give me some time. I'll make one. Like I said, I'd rather have somebody get something they want than have to fight or miss out or things like that at times. Like some people, like it's just a time difference that they missed my drop, and that was it. They were sleeping or something. I'm like, well, yeah, just contact me. If I'm able to do it, I'll get it to you because you've been moved to contact me for that piece, right? And but that one specifically, like. It's actually like I actually normally don't plan. A lot of times I just kind of that's gonna be hello, that's gonna be whatever, and then I go from there. But that one I wanted to do the Spectrum puzzle justice. So as you look at it next to the Spectrum puzzle, it has like the exact blend that the puzzle piece has now. And then like if you spin her around, it has like it in reverse. So it's like the actual puzzle piece from the backside. And then I made the base match it too. So that was one that like, because I have a friend that's his son is autistic, and like growing up with him, that's become a close charity I try to work with when I can. So like that's why as soon as you asked me, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in. Like, if you wanted like 5 pieces, I would have threw in 5, but they only really like 1. But like next year when he comes around, yeah, I'll probably drop like at least one of each character, multiple sizes. I'm already ready. I got things in my head going on now. I'm thinking about having floating puzzle pieces that glow in the dark, things like that inside of it. Like I'm ready to do something fun for it. So.
Yeah, but I mean, when you said that, I was like, oh, I've got to at least, remind people that you did that. I mean,
I appreciate it.
Like I said, I mean, you replied right away when I texted and asked, and you were, I mean, without hesitation. Which to me, I mean, if that was huge to me because it was like, at that point, I mean, I am a fan, but
I appreciate that. That's why I try to do giveaways. Everyone knows every so often, So like even with my drops, I try to do a giveaway too with it because again, like if you've been moved to pick up the piece, you get a chance to get something that maybe a one-off or something extra, and it's just my way of saying thank you. Like sometimes, like people know in their boxes, like some random, you'll get like 10 stickers, something like crazy where you're not expecting it, or some people get personalizations where I'll just have a piece of paper that I don't give to everyone, but one person will just get a hand drawing of a character saying thank you, and those are like, I try to do personalization. Yep.
I need one of those.
I have plenty of them now. I ordered more, but Alex and I, that's coming as the toy. So
goodness Christ!
Yeah. So my Boricans are coming as a toy. That's a colorway that will be in the 3-inch once I cast them. And then did you see the Pirate Panda?
Yes.
So that's our official collab. So Alex designed that. And then that is another toy. So between the two of us, we have 3 that should be coming out probably within the next year.
Oh, this is all. So the box I got when I got these had all, those the little drawings, the stickers, the pins.
Yeah, I started doing those little DIYs because I like to see people draw on my stuff. So I was like, I can just print these little DIYs on cardstock, easy, put them in, and if people are moved or like, I like to see their kids. I used to do coloring pages at DCon and do contests. So all you had to do is pick them up at the booth, take it to your house, have the kids color them in, and if you remember to tag me on a certain day, I was doing drawings, for a toy or stuff like that. So, like those are things that like with these characters I will be doing again. Because I think they're more approachable from some of the other stuff I was doing where like a kid may think it's too creepy. That's why I said I do like scary stuff at certain times. But like now I think they're in the realm of even Chica with the jagged teeth. She's still cute. Like I think she's one of
my daughter will like that. Lana will love that.
Yeah.
She's into all that kind of stuff with anime and like and she draws. So
That's
trust
awesome.
me, she'd be totally down for that.
And I have other versions of them. They are gonna. I have been working behind the scenes where each of those 3 will essentially look like Protector 28 at some point. So there is a comic accurate version of them that will eventually see the light of day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So like it's not just him, it's just he's the only one that I've revealed at this point.
Well, it's rounding up at that time. So I want to just before I even start going anywhere, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, man.
Well,
I think it was awesome. Like this was like amazing to actually get you on here and actually talk to you. Like I feel like
sorry I had to cancel the last time.
Dude, no, man, you told us what you had, and like that's life happens, bro, and you have to do what you gotta do. And I'm glad that you came on, and Mento came on in the place, and Mento enjoyed it, and we love Mento. And
speaking of Mento, stay tuned to DCon because me and Mento may be doing something together.
He didn't say that.
Oh no, we figured that out at the creatives thing. So stay tuned, everyone.
Look at that, folks. We try to get you the inside scoop whenever we get the artists on here. So just so you all know,
breaking news.
Stay tuned for DCon. That's in November, folks. For y'all that don't know.
The amount of collab stuff that is coming out of that show is insane.
Those are just toy stuff, like actual like art stuff. Like I'm working on a collab with Juan Panda right now as of like a print we're going to be releasing. I have one with Sneaky Cloud right now that we're working on. Hoping that I can get a hold of Jay Draws and Schoolboy John. Fat Boy John. So we're thinking. Remember, we both had the tank cats as the cards. We may have a tank cat collab at some point.
Oh,
Yep. So that's the tank cat.
That's awesome.
nice. I love it. I love it. So
I will say, I mean, you guys know I have certain artists that are I support probably more than others. I mean, I have a lot that I follow and a lot that I like trying to get pieces from. Fett is the guy I have the most from right now. So you're number 2 right now.
That's awesome.
Absolutely priceless.
Yes, Liz, there's plenty I don't have.
That's amazing.
He does not have a King Bob original crappy coloring. Ain't got one of them yet.
Hey, the Bob colorway is yours.
I need any of those. I put out anyone that has my collab card. If you're willing to color it in, I've been trading for colored ones that I've done. So you color it in.
All right, fine.
Send it my way.
I'll pull this one out and I'll color it for you.
If you have a doubles, I don't want to take out of your collection. If you have the double of it.
Yeah. This is my double. So I will send you the duplicate cards, and then I'll color that in.
Dope.
You know his luck with lenticulars, and you, right?
Well, how many did you have with that? 3, right?
3.
That's awesome.
I had 3.
That's amazing.
So I will. Obviously, you're getting the dupes and then I'll color this one for you.
Heck yeah, I'll send one back your way. I did 10 of them already.
Nice.
That I colored in. So, and they're all different. They're all 1-of-1s. So
nice.
And then I've been coloring in everyone else that just haven't showed it. So all the other ones that I had doubles of just the regular collabs, I figured I could try to put them up, but I figured I'm just gonna start putting them out in people's packaging. So if you pick up something, you may get a one-off like collab card in there, things like that. So also push the creatives, but also as like a thank you, push other artists as well. So it's all love.
Most definitely. Again, though, thank you so much for coming through. We appreciate you, brother. Where can we find you, and like where can we buy your stuff? I mean, because I know we know, but I want the world to know.
So Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me. Just at official SergandDestroy. Some 14-year-old kid took SergandDestroy, so I can't do that. So my actual my store is just SergandDestroy.BigCartel.com. I actually have a drop Wednesday of some stuff. I'll be doing a teaser tomorrow live on Instagram, and then my T-shirt shop is just SergandDestroy, threadless. So I have some stuff up there now, but I am putting more characters up, and then those are the best ways to support me as of art-wise. But yeah, contact me on Instagram. I usually get back at DMs, comment on the post. I comment back. I'm really approachable if you haven't figured that out.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that.
So yeah, just I'm always creating, trying to do more video stuff, trying to get better at that.
So Liz has said that she will trade a card for mailed cookies.
Mailed cookies. Let's do it. Let's do it. I got plenty of
Liz is on IG. Go on IG, Liz, and follow him. Make it this, and y'all need to talk.
Yeah, send me a DM. I've been doing drawings for things, whatever. I always send out stickers. You always get a sticker of some sort, So.
Oh, that's dope as hell. But hey, folks.
And then once I cast the coquitos, you guys will all get one. I just gotta cast them.
I can't wait.
Thank you, sir.
So, folks, thank you, sir. May I have another? So, folks, I want to thank Serg for coming on.
Cookies are the bomb because
Oh no, I can imagine. Liz's food porn that she posts on Facebook is amazing.
That's
awesome. The food would just hold up to Atlanta, I would trade like anything in this apartment for some good old cooking.
That's good to know.
But
What
no.
you need, Bob? We might be able to make that happen.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that!
We
want-
I
that's
mean,
what we talked off air
right now
about that.
I have 2 dogs for trade.
Nice.
I'll probably get more for the little one than the big one, but
No, Chris. I think Smitty knows what coquito is like the liquor. We all know it's like for Puerto Ricans, it's the liquor.
Oh, yeah.
We
I
also
meant
call it
coquito
the
the
frog.
figure.
The stuff that Playful and Red both
And
make
Red
it-
were
it-
selling,
it
yeah,
helps
yeah.
them. Yeah. I know what coquito is.
Exactly, coquito's good.
Yeah, coquito is you know, the big coquitos are actually coming with a glow white coquito bottle when I made them.
nice.
Y'all put some cinnamon in that.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know what that is the Puerto Rican eggnog, folks.
Go hard.
We do not drink eggnog at Christmas. We drink that from Thanksgiving into Valentine's Day.
Yep. Don't stop at Three
Why
Kings
stop,
Day.
though?
Exactly. You don't stop at Three Kings. You keep going on to Valentine's, and you might get pregnant. Just saying. If you drink a little too much, just saying.
So what you're saying is that's why there's so many babies born in like October, November.
Yes.
All right. Well, shit, my birthday's in November, so what the fuck were my parents doing around Valentine's Day?
So is mine.
I don't want to know. I've done 4
Lord.
years without asking that question. So
You just ruined Valentine's Day.
In fact, he just did. So thank you again, Serge. It was awesome getting to talk with you. It's so much better than just conversing through DM.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, follow him on IG. You can catch him on Booze and Buddies. Literally, just talk to him at any time, bro. He really has proven that he can talk to you about just anything. I have so many questions. He and I could talk about anime and like I want to know who his favorite Taylor Scout is, but like,
dude, I've been doing lives, so like I've been hopping on with different people. I'm just like, contact me. You ever want to just hop on a live and just chat? Like, I've been doing.
Dude, you know Wednesdays.
Been doing ones with
Wednesdays
Bunny.
are Click Talk. You could always come in if you know. I'm not on there right now because just like I saw the end of the school year for Lana. And my wife's a teacher, so like,
nice.
And not till like mid-June, I won't be able to come back on. So they always like having a guest like to pop in, and it doesn't hurt. Just they shoot you the IM just to come on in. Just feel free to come on in.
If you want to plug the drop on Wednesday night, you know, shoot me a text, and I'll shoot you the link when I get it.
Oh, it's a banger!
Exactly.
It's a banger. I've been holding it back. I haven't showed any images, but yeah, it's
beautiful.
It's something.
All right. Since we're talking drops this week, I have to ask. You've got miscasts for Thursday, Friday?
Yep, I will be there. I have 6 bundles for the miscast show and 2 fat miscasts that he sent me that then I took and rehabbed into customs.
Ooh, and do you know which night you're on?
I have absolutely no idea.
It's either both nights.
They haven't got there yet, I guess. But
it's only a couple of days away. But God forbid they have it planned out yet.
Yeah, once they say like, "Hey, bro, you're at this time," I will be on there at that time. But yeah, I have stuff ready. I've been I was doing that right before I hopped on. I know, Mama.
It's gonna be a 5-minute warning. Hey, man, where you at? You're on right now.
Yeah. Usually they know if I'm home, I'll hop on. They don't, you got a space in the box, I'm on. That's just usually what happens. But yeah, it'll be exciting. I'm pumped for it.
Bob,
so you guys know
that I know that has happened.
Yeah, it has happened.
So check them out. Y'all know we tell you all every time. We plug it all the time to check Booze and Buddies out. We tell you to check the IG out. We are all very active on IG. We're very active pretty much in whatever group that we can be active in because we love talking to the artists. I mean, these guys and girls have been giving us a lot of their time, and I respect the stuff that they do. And, again, give them just a second. It doesn't hurt just to give them a compliment in their box. Comment on their artwork. It makes their day more than you know. Send that positive vibes out, folks, because that's what we try to do. And I try to spread the word to let everybody know. And I'm going to tell you now, watch your head on the way out the dungeon, folks. As always.
And always check your show. So, like right now, you're in the block party show, right?
Yeah.
So is Alex.
Mothership.
Yeah, so is Priscilla.
Yeah, a lot of the booze and buddies.
Yeah, we're taking over these
artists.
shows slowly enough. People are all taking over, which is great. So
yeah, and we plug booze and buddies all the time. We plug Dirty Deeds because they've been doing a lot for getting artist exposure and stuff. So I mean, we love those guys, and obviously, the guys that watch this know how much I love Fett and Playful, and support their stuff, and Booze and Buddies and Evil and you.
Yeah. Yeah, man, Fixed Temple's killing it with those globals.
Come on now.
Yeah, he actually just reached out to me today. Shout out to Fixed Temple.
Oh, awesome.
And I was chatting with him today. He is awesome.
Super cool dude.
I love Colton. He is just genuinely a good soul. You don't get you very rarely I get to talk to somebody that's that nice.
Mm-hmm.
And Colton was really cool. We were chatting up for about a good half an hour today. And that's something that this community really has lent itself. The creatives have welcomed me and Bob in. Like, we've been family for 25 years, folks.
That's
and
awesome.
You definitely feel that way. Whenever like I talk to any of these guys, they make me feel so like cared about. Like I can give them my phone number and they're like, "Yo, what's up, Dre?" And we talk like just bullshit. So
it's changed how cons are, man. Like when we go now, like 5 Points, everyone wants to go. We want it to happen for it to happen, but now there's so much stuff like now in person that now we get to hang out for a weekend, and what can come from that and just stuff like that. And that's why everyone likes Decon. I mean, I fly across the country every year for it because I get to see some of these people I don't get to see all year. Like now with technology, I can chat with them anytime, but like when you're in person, like it is a different thing, like they outside of the con, we hang out all night and then you come back the next day, and then you do it again and you do it again. And you have Disney out there. Like a lot of us stay an extra day, hang out at Disney. That's a whole nother thing, so it's super fun.
Yes, he says, what about me?
What about you? What? Of course. Yes, he's awesome. I always like
yes, she is
hanging out with Yessie. Perfect,
so
great.
we will definitely be trying to do something. I mean, I know that I'm pretty much out this year for cons, except for my trip that's in December with the family. Yeah, but I would like
I'm the
to.
Same way for the mouse in November, but
yeah, I think next year we'll all try to do something where we can get together and.
A lot of stuff, like it's essentially like a restart year, right? A lot of places are like, you got new venues that they have to go to now because of this or that. So there's, it's still growing pains, but that's why with this fan expo, it really opened my eyes. Like, okay, this, I think everything's back, like, I think it's going to take a sec, but this feels great. But like, it's great because the creativity hasn't stopped over the 2 years. It's just now you get to physically be there with people again, so I think things are going to get better if you're an attendee. I think because everyone just wants to make these cons the best thing when you're there.
Hey, Kenneth. And yes, Liz, on occasion I may have gone to a con or an event without you to hang with.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Playful or Evil, or the New York Creatives show, where I got to meet Serg in person. Fine.
Yep. Yeah.
See, we got to make it happen.
And Ganga.
Well, everyone.
Well, the spoiler on my end is I'm debating on going home next year. And home is New York, so.
Oh, nice.
I just gotta, had to find a time to go up there where it's not too cold and I can actually get shit done and just walk around the city and get lost and gorge myself on a crave case from White Castle.
Oh man, I missed those.
That was the first stop. I would get off the plane and hop a train into Manhattan, walk to the White Castle, did a crave case, walk back to Grand Central, proceed to eat said White Castle on the train, so everyone smells the onions and everything.
That's
And
awesome.
then throw it in my parents' fridge, and it smells like onions in there for days. So that's probably why they have not invited me home in years. They're tired of the onions, but no, I'm hoping next year to get back home. It's been 7 years since I've been up in New York, so it's about time to go home.
All right, Bob, this is what we need to do.
What we got?
We need to plan for next year. You come up for 5 points.
All right.
Because then Liz and I, we can all go to 5 points and meet up with all the guys and all the people, all the artists that we're following there. Because a lot of them are trying to go this year. But, I mean, as Serg is saying, I mean, it's been the organization of it with the change in venue and stuff has been crazy.
Yeah, we just got an email today about like they're still working things out. So until I'm walking in the building to set up, I don't believe it. I kind of need that week before because we're staying with Bunny. Rick and I are driving up from Cleveland, so I was like, well, before I take the drive up, I kind of got to know this is really really happening. So, but if not, then it'll be a weekend. Someone say 5 points. Yeah, it's like Beetlejuice. Maybe if we say it many times, it'll actually happen. So yeah, but that's what I'm looking forward to. It. It'll be fun. I think now it's about time to let's do this thing. It sucks because when the pandemic hit, I was supposed to be one of the live artists doing like the battle type thing on the big canvas panels, and it was like me, Quicks. It was like me and all these bangers, and then it got canceled, and I was like, oh, of course, the year you guys asked me, I can't do it. So it's okay. Keep moving forward. That's all we can do.
Hey man, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
But yeah, man, next year we should plan for you to come home for that.
Oh, definitely.
That'd be awesome, guys. Maybe you can wear your Nerd Dungeon t-shirts.
Hey, I will come up and rock that.
Oh hell yeah!
The whole family. I'll get them all for the whole family to wear. Don't even play.
I already have it planned out. All I need for a week in New York is a tent, a sleeping bag, and some friendly security guards in Grand Central. And I'll just camp out in Grand Central for the week.
My brother works in the new World Trade building. You can go. He's a security guard.
No. See, but Grand Central's easier because they have food downstairs.
That's true.
I don't know.
They got
food.
Well, they kick people out now. They kick people out at 10 o'clock. And when those restaurants shut down, they kick you out.
Hey, first of all, I watched the movie Loser, and that chick slept in there overnight. I can do it.
Okay. Just because the movie told you could do it, I'm gonna let that.
Hell yeah! I will sleep in Grand Central Station for a week.
I love it. So y'all, we will chit chat off of here. It was great having everybody on. Thank you guys. As always, stay geeky, y'all. Peace out, friends.
Buy the merch.
Geek Tea, the Nerd Dungeon t-shirts are